Welcome to the Cowboy Football Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy. Another dramatic win for Oklahoma State and another fourth quarter comeback for the Cowboys as OSU takes down Kansas State in Manhattan. The fourth quarter has been really good for you overall, especially in conference play. Do you think that's where your increased depth plays a role?
I think so. We're playing two groups on defense and really three corners instead of four. Stearns plays a lot. He doesn't get much of a break, but the front seven, other than Chad Whitener, those guys, we rotate them in pretty good, and it's got to make a difference in the end of the game. I feel comfortable with our rotation. I think it's helping us. Our plan during the week, how we protect our players, keep them fresh. We believe in the nutrition, the hydration, the sleep, all the things that we've talked about before. I think our team buys into that part of the game, and that helps us because we have played very well in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the fourth quarters.
Well, and you just think about your close games in general. You're 10-1 in your last 11 games decided by 10 points or less. How much of that is mental when you keep having success in close games over and over again?
I think there's a big part of what we instill in our team, and the never show fear, frustration, or fatigue, I think, is big with them. Play the next play, control things you can control. And I feel like that's hitting home because the older players, the veteran guys, I hear them talking about it to the media. I hear them talking about it in the locker room without us saying it on any particular time. And so it must be hitting home with them, and I think that makes a big difference at the end of those games.
Stay with us. We take a look at the highlights of the Cowboys' most recent close win, the victory at Kansas State, when we come back on the Cowboy Football Roundup. Back on the Cowboy Football Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy. We head to Manhattan, Kansas for the highlights and the sellout crowd. This is a good atmosphere, Coach. Yeah,
they've done a really good job there. They've got the big jumbotrons there. It makes a big difference. And they got off to a fast start. Their quarterback run. They do a really good job with it. They had a good scheme. Their students do a great job. So we were down, and then we got back to work. Mason hit McCleskey there. McCleskey had another really nice game. We're in a second long situation, and Mason hits the outcut there. And I think that was Seals that made that play.
Yes, it was.
And so we're back in decent situation. We end up running the ball up the middle on second long, get 10 yards, so we're in a first down situation. We had a penalty, I believe.
Yeah,
oh, no, they scored. Yeah, we got
too.
stopped on fourth down here. And then Mason goes to the play action pass and hits Seals over the top, gets us down there in the red zone.
Seals 3 catches for 67 yards on the day and a couple of big catches in the first half. Down 13-0, but a chance to get right back into the game here with this touchdown throw to McCleskey.
Yeah, I had a nice under route to McCleskey, and we're able to get in the end zone. Nice job with protection, and Mason did a good job throwing him a very catchable ball.
Okay, you see this block, pardon me, Coach, but you'll see this block coming up as we take a look at the replay that helps secure the last 3 or 4 yards from McCleskey. A lot of the K-State fans wondered about this, but tell us what you think.
Well, he hits him in the side, and then when he falls on his shoulder. It's close, but the officials won't call that. So we're back at it here. We're within one score again, and we get them in long yardage. We get a sack. So we get the ball back. We're in a 3rd and short, and James Washington makes a great play. We didn't have an answer for that one, but he athletically was better than him at that particular time. Right back into a first down situation, and we went to our speed game where Mason finds Jarwin on the long pass. He protects the ball and gets in the zone. So all of a sudden, we're up by 1 after being down 13, and the crowd there in Manhattan was rocking and rolling pretty good.
What happens on this play?
Well, we're selling the quick throw in the flat there to number 1. You know, we've hit him a few times this year, and we're selling that. And then instead of blocking, those guys all go vertical, and Mason makes a read on which one of the 3 he wants to hit. So K-State's back out there. They're in long yardage, 2nd and 9, and Stearns makes a nice hit there. We got him in a 3rd down situation. I think they converted this one.
I believe they did, yes.
Yeah, this is it right here. It's 3rd and 8. And no, this may be the one that we ended up getting
later
a sack.
in the drive, yeah.
Yeah, we got a sack there by Vince nice job there.
Held them to a field goal on this occasion, so K-State retakes the lead, and you've got the ball back.
So we got the ball, and we're down 2. Had a little pop pass there. That's it's an old school play back. I used that back when I played. Little play action pass and dump to the tight end down the middle of the field. We're in a 3rd and short. Mason did a nice job scrambling here. They're in a man coverage situation, and he had a really good run.
A little anxious when he left his feet, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him about that. Down to the 5, he's playing that way, but it makes me a little nervous when he's doing that. But he's really done a good job this year in some of the runs, and helped us. Obviously, that was a big one there. And they're going to come back to the pass play here and hit Washington in the back of the end zone. And so now we're back up 21-16. Really nice throw, nice catch, good job getting his feet down.
Up by 5 as James Washington makes a grab, one of 2 touchdowns for him. Now you're in a tough situation here at the end of the first half, backed up near your own goal line, and Barry J. Sanders with his longest run of the year.
Yeah, he did a good job there. When we were against the wind, and we didn't have a lot of time, and I didn't feel comfortable in just kind of airing it out there. I just thought it was a long ways to go. We'd had to go probably 60 yards to even think about getting a field goal. So we said, hey, we're just gonna run it out and go to the half.
Stay with us. We take a look at the second half highlights when we return on the Cowboy Football Roundup. We're back on the Cowboy Football Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy. Let's move along to the second half highlights here, and Zach Seiner doing what he does best.
He had a good day. We had 1 punt blocked, but it wasn't his fault. It was our fault, but he did a good job punting the football. Nice play here by Moncrief, yeah. Nice job there, seeing the bubble screen. And in a 2nd and 1, and got a big play there by Devontae. Put him in a 3rd and 7.
Then we fast forward, coming up, Kansas State in a 4th down situation, fakes a field goal.
Yeah, they ran that's a play they run all the time. It's a power play where they run it, and our guys did a good job. Mote and Darian and Pipkins did a good job of seeing it. And then we go right back to work, and Mason has James wide open and overthrew him. I joked with him. I said he overthrew it about 10 feet. And then we had a turnover, and now we come back and on the play pass and find Hayes. And so we're kind of right back in it again, even though we had made a lot of mistakes. And really nice route by Hayes, and a really nice throw by Mason.
A lot of guys involved in this game making big plays.
Yeah,
lots of guys.
They really were. And then now they're back into it, and they're down at what, the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and they eventually go in and score. So it's 37-28. What are you thinking at that time with 12 minutes to go?
Well, it's I'm thinking that we've got to get a touchdown pretty fast, but we can't panic. And we come out and hit McCleskey on the quick pass there. And then on this one, we go back to the quick pass. Mason does a great job avoiding the rush, and Washington runs right by him. And that did surprise me a little bit with 7 minutes to go, and in a 2-score game, I thought they would stay back.
Yeah, you and your offensive coordinator were having a debate on the headset.
Well, we really weren't. They called it, and I said, are you sure you want to call this? I said, there's not a chance they're going to let us run by them, and I'm not sure we want to burn it down. And they said, well, we think we got it. And I said, all right. So they made a good call, and so now we're still within 7 minutes, and it's a 2-point game. And we get them at a 3rd down and medium. They try the quarterback run, and we get a big stop. Our guys stepped up, and now we're into the latter part of the game where we talk about hopefully our depth and the science behind what we do. And then we come out and start running the ball, and there's Carson for about 20.
Yeah, there's an example of your depth. Your 2nd-string
Right.
tailback comes in and carries a big load on this drive.
Right, and then Mason did a good job flipping it out there, good read, getting it out to McCleskey. So now we're in another 1st down, and you're talking about we got all 3 timeouts, and we've crossed the 50 now. We've gotten down there and had a couple more runs, and then Carson, he just takes off on the inside run and carries them through the end zone, and showed tremendous strength and power on that play. They had 2 timeouts, so when that happened, you're thinking, I'm not so sure. I wish he wouldn't have got tackled on the 5
I wondered about that.
and play that game with them. But when you score, you score, and it's a good thing.
And you chose to go for 2. I'm curious, what led to that decision?
We needed to go for 2 because it wouldn't have done us any good to go up 5.
Sure.
And so we felt like we needed to get a 2-point conversion, and at least we're up by a touchdown. And if they were to score, maybe try to block the extra point.
And they had missed a PAT earlier in the game,
Sure.
too.
So, the rest from here is kind of history. This was a huge play. They had the 2 timeouts, and it was 3rd and short, and we put them in the 4th down situation. Now, they did convert it, but what that did is that kept the clock running, and then we ultimately got into the last play of the game where they had the pick play with the penalty, and Stearns, he was our MVP, and he just made play after play, and he read the quarterback's eyes and got the interception. And one of the biggest comeback victories since I've been here. We've done it a lot, but they've got a number of statistics. I think at home, the last 25 games, they won the turnover battle. I think they're 25-0.
Wow. Stay with us. Allison Gappa sits down with Cowboy receiver Jalen McCleskey when we return. Welcome back to the Cowboy Football Roundup. Jalen McCleskey is Oklahoma State's leading receiver in terms of catches, and I suppose that's no accident because he has a great football legacy. His father played in the NFL, but McCleskey was always undersized. In fact, he didn't even weigh 90 pounds when he played football in junior high. Allison Gappa had a chance to sit down with Jalen McCleskey and find out more about his story and his father's influence.
Jalen McCleskey's father, JJ, played in the NFL for 8 years for the Saints and Cardinals. He's now an athletic trainer and no question has had a huge influence on Jalen's path to a breakout season at Oklahoma State.
Whenever he would just come home from practice or anything, that I would help him ice down his body. He'd be sore, and I would just help him ice down his body while he lays down in bed. Just looking back at it, helping him when he was playing, now he's helping me while I'm playing. My dad's teammate, Arizona Cardinals, they used to call him Show J, and I would always have like a football in my hand or something that had to deal with football, so they started calling me Lil Show. And my dad doesn't even really call me Jalen, he calls me Lil Show too. And a bunch of the players and some of the coaches, they call me Show, but nobody really calls me Jalen that much.
Was this through high school too? Like this has just been?
It's been ever since I was a little kid, everybody's been calling me Show, Lil Show.
Do you like that? I mean, that's a really cool story for sure.
I do, I like the nickname, I don't know, it'd be different if I didn't have it.
Do you remember a point when you got really serious about football and maybe the dynamic between you guys got more intense in focusing on football?
8th grade year, we had went to Keith Young, which was a nice restaurant by where I live, and he just asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted to play football in college, try to go to the pros, and he told me this is what we're going to need to do, and so we just went on from there.
Jalen's hard work and JJ's plan for his son is paying off this year. He's leading the Cowboy football team with 57 catches. He's become a go-to target for Mason Rudolph with 11 catches in 2 games this season.
All the hard work that I've done to come out and have a season like this, I feel like that I'm aware that I'm probably farther than what I thought I would be, but I like where I am right now.
What's it like after a game and his process of watching your games and then talking to you about the game afterwards?
First he'll ask me how film go, how did I grade out, what did we do like in practice and stuff like that. But then he'll go home and Sunday night he'll watch the game about 5 or 6 times on TV, and then he'll just tell me more things, and he'll just tell me like what I did good and like what I could have done better. He'll just remind me of stuff that I can do that in my route running and stuff like that.
For JJ and Jalen McCleskey, Show J and Little Show, football is a passion they've always shared. But the journey together, that's the true show of a lifetime.
Even sometimes when I was mad at him, but I knew that he just wanted the best, because I think without him, I wouldn't be where I am today, because he knows so much that that really helped me get to where I am right now.
Well, Coach, your thoughts on Jalen McCleskey and obviously the influence of his dad as well as his improvement since he's been here?
He's been a good player for us from the day he showed up, very competitive. He's one of those guys that good things seem to always happen to him, and he's had great influence at home. His dad not only was a good player, but he's involved in training, and he's instilled that mental toughness in Jalen, and it shows up on game day.
Stay with us. Coach Gundy and I preview the Cowboys' Senior Day matchup with Texas Tech when we come back. Back for a final time on the Cowboy Football Roundup, and Coach Gundy, your last home game against Texas Tech.
It ought to be a good one. They're an exciting team. It's interesting that the quarterback play we're getting in this league each week has made these games very interesting right down to the wire. We need improvement in stopping the run on defense. I know Tech throws it a lot, but they'll run it. We have to minimize turnovers and be really good in special teams. Should be a great day with our seniors. Fortunately, we have another class that's going out, have won a lot of football games, been a great part of Oklahoma State, done a great job in the classroom, and excited about them moving on with their life, but certainly sad when we lose them.
For Coach Gundy and Allison Gappa, I'm Dave Hunziker. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Cowboy Football Roundup.
The Cowboy Football Roundup is brought to you by Bud Light, a proud partner of Oklahoma State football. Cowboys, raise one to right now. By OG&E, power at the speed of life. By Case IH, get in the red zone and win with Case IH. Learn more about exclusive offers on top-performing tractors and combines at caseih.com/cowboys. By the visitstillwaterok.org Shop, Dine, and Stay partners. Be sure to shop, dine, and stay in America's friendliest college town. Brought to you by visitstillwaterok.org. By Mercy, your life is our life's work. And by Cox, your OSU sports connection.